All right, Olmsted Falls is 7-8 coming into this game tonight, really on a mission. They lost very lopsidedly to Avon Lake in the 7th week of the season. They won 4 last week. Huge victory for them, and of course leading the way is a kid who does very well commanding this football team. Very good passer and obviously a nice field general in Tim Mattis.
Yeah, he's a good leader. Tim Mattis directed the Bulldogs to their first ever postseason appearance here tonight. 1,100 yards passing this season, although it's going to be tough to pass tonight with the rainy, windy conditions. 10 TDs, 4 interceptions, and hey, when he tucks it and runs, over 4 yards to carry for him. Tim Radigan, an excellent running back for the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. 1,130 yards rushing this year, over 5 yards a carry. And you want to, we throw this cliche around in sports a lot, John, stepping up in the big game. Last week when they needed to beat North Olmsted, their rival, he took the ball 35 times for over 300 yards, and he scored 5 touchdowns.
He is an outstanding running back, and his head coach, Jim Ryan, was mentioning that he had the best game of his life when he needed to, as you just alluded, and it was very evident last week in that very big victory to gain the playoff spot, to get revenge, hopefully, in their minds against Avon Lake Shoremen. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the other individuals on the football team. You have Stillman. He's an outstanding receiver, and Burkhardt as well.
Tyler Stillman, 23 catches this year, 354 yards. He had 4 touchdowns. He's a ball hawk, not only offensively, but defensively as well.
Well, both of those guys are doing well in the intercept. In fact, these guys defensively, Matt, are outstanding in that giveaway takeaway department.
That's really where Olmsted Falls lived and died this year, in the takeaway giveaway department. They were plus 14 in the takeaway giveaway area this year. They had 16 interceptions, and the guy up front who gets it going for the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs defense is John Stanton. He's a great leader, 3-year letterman, 6'2", 201 pounds. And then there's Bryce Burkhardt, who we alluded to a couple of moments ago. 3 interceptions this year, and he returned those for 73 yards. So not only does he pick them, he runs it back too.
And also, Jim Ryan was saying, boy, he's very difficult when it comes to supporting the run. He's a hard hitter. Looks like it's got to be the makings, has to be the makings of a great football contest tonight. And we'll be back to have that for you on Channel 25. It's high school football. It's the tournament. Stay right there. Welcome back to Lakewood Stadium. We're all set for this Division III. This is the first round of the playoffs. And it is, of course, Avon Lake there on the left side of your screen in the darker uniforms. And you saw the ball falling off of the tee. So hence the win here at Lakewood Stadium, Matt. And Olmsted Falls getting set to kick off. Now the situation was Avon Lake winning the toss, but really the situation is the win in this football contest. And I think right now Avon Lake is going into the wrong direction in terms of fighting the win. And so hence Olmsted Falls likes to be in the direction that they're going right now.
Of course, Avon Lake will have their choice in the second half, and which time they will take the win in the second half.
All right, here's the kick. The man in the middle is Sean Bristow, and it's going to be taken by Bristow, 42, right up the middle. Nice return to about the 35, rolling forward to about the 36-yard line. So as we take a look at some of the lineups for both of these football contest teams here, if you will. Here's your Avon Lake offense. The backfield, Petty's the QB with Nealon and Breeze, Jika, and Jackson, the men to throw to. And there's your offensive line. Callinger's an outstanding one. The man in the middle is Josh Henry. He anchors it all as they get set for the first play. It is 1st and 10. How about that for a surprise, Matt? They go to Jeff Breeze. He goes over the right side. He's got some big people to run behind as well, including Callinger and Matheson. And he gets a gain of about 3 or 4 yards to set up that second down situation for those guys. Oh, here's Olmsted Falls defensively. McSweeney, Stanton, Piazza, and Solomon, the men up front. There are your linebackers, some very good ones. And there's the secondary, Stillman, Burkhardt. Those are ball hawks, and Tim Bush is a good one as well. The hit, very strong there on number 44. The hit was by Tim Radigan. The running back also seeing time at linebacker as he puts the big lick on big number 44, Brian Nealon.
Yeah, Brian Nealon looking for yardage off the right side of the offensive line, but Tim Radigan is just a very tough kid. He caused 1 fumble this season. He's a two-way performer. We talked about him in the open. He's a great running back, but he's just a hard-nosed kid all the way around.
He will split time with Andy Post at the linebacker spot, rolling left and throwing to the outside. And not being able to hold on right there is Rick Stroff, number 4. Just a bit on the difficult side. We're talking what is more difficult tonight, Matt. Is it the wind or is it just the aspect of the slippery ball? You may have seen the latter right there.
Well, that's a ball that really has to be caught. Matt Petty did an excellent job from a quarterbacking standpoint. He put the ball out there for his receiver to catch, put himself in a position possibly to get a first down. The receiver's got to come up with the ball.
Gets the punt off. It's going to be taken on about the 36-yard line. That is Hardison with the reception, if you will, and they'll start things offensively for Olmsted Falls. And let's take a look at the offensive situation for Olmsted Falls. Mattis, the QB, with Radigan. Post is a good fullback. Burkhardt and Stillman, those are the guys they're going to throw to. Here is your offensive line. McCullum is the man in the middle, the center at number 71. He will run things for them, and incidentally, they may come out with a two tight end situation right here, and if they do, Tim Bush would be that second tight end. See if they can just run at him, only one wide receiver, double tight end, and see if they can power football against Avon Lake, and they're going to give it to Tim Radigan, and some people wrap him up, including number 57, and a good job defensively for the Avon Lake defense, and that was 87 was Aaron Weems in there, one of the first guys to do the job defensively. Here's the defensive line. Machert's a good one. Weems, Nealon, Bristow, a real tough football player. Jika, Tilly, and Eisman, they are the defensive backs, the secondary for Avon Lake.
Tells you a lot about the athletic ability of Aaron Weems when, as an outside linebacker, you can average 9.5 tackles a game.
Let's see if he's got the speed to get to the outside. He is met first by Brian Jika. That was Tim Radigan once again. Last week he rushed the ball 35 times in that season-ending victory, at least the regular season that is, a 41-13 victory over North Olmsted, and picking up a yard or so on that play.
He carried the football in all but 20 of their total offensive plays in the game.
Ball is smack dab on top of the 40-yard line. It's third down, and it's 9 for Olmsted Falls. Burkhardt in motion. Looks like it may have been trapped, and is an incomplete pass there, intended for Stillman. Tyler Stillman, who's caught quite a few passes for Olmsted Falls so far this year. He's a two-way performer, and now he'll be a part of that punt coverage team.
He was close to the first down, too. Nice little curl route. He was open. Mattis may be struggling a little bit with the wind. The slippery ball underthrew him.
Mattis is also the punter. Had a pretty good rush, and he gets it away, and you can see the difference in punting with the wind right there, and a fair catch is called for by Brian Jika, and they're going to take over deep in their own territory. There is no score. It is the first quarter. With about 9:05 to go here in the first quarter, John Telich and Matt Underwood along with you here on Channel 25. As we continue along with our high school football coverage, we have games in Division III, of course, tonight. We're looking forward to doing the game next week and the week after that, as well as teams continue on the tournament trail. Just past the 20-yard line. Quarterback is Petty. And BREESE with the ball, and the tackle there by Minadio. That's Jason Minadio, a 5'9", 155-pound senior linebacker wearing number 59.
He looked like somebody launched him out of a cannon. He was in the backfield so quick, and it was a great defensive job by Jason Minadio, forcing Avon Lake into a situation, frankly, they're not too familiar with. Second and long.
All right, he's all right. This is your QB. Petty. The pursuit still gets a pretty good deal of yardage there around the near sideline by the Avon Lake bench. And Tyler Stillman coming up to force him out of bounds as the quarterback, Matt Petty. He's a senior at 6 foot, 180 pounds. Just as he gets to the outside there's Tyler Stillman, number 24, all-round football player for Olmsted Falls, doing the job there.
Petty's ran the ball 33 times this year for 159 yards, a little less than 4 yards a carry.
First down situation, and Jeff BREESE, and that's it that meets him. All kinds of folks, including 35 Radigan, And also a good hit there by Formica. That's Shane Formica. He's a junior. In fact, in the linebacker bunch, he is the only junior in that clan there, although at times Post does come in to sub for Tim Radigan.
Well, if you look at this Bulldog linebacking core, 155 pounds, 180, 197, 187, not very big, but very aggressive and very quick. It's attacking the ball.
2nd and 9, and here's BREESE once again to the left side. And he's met by a whole bunch of folks, including number 76, John Stanton. Formica was there.
Formica was the guy who really initiated the contact. He got into the backfield first, and that's what I like so far. Olmsted Falls, good penetration, John. They're sort of disrupting the running game before it has a chance to get on track.
7:13 to go here in first. And here is Matt Petties, the QB. Petty's rolling right, a little bit of pressure. Thrown across his body and nearly picked off defensively by Tim Bush, the 6'1", 175-pounder. He is a senior.
Excellent job by Pat McSweeney, putting pressure on the quarterback, making Petty's kind of lob one, as you mentioned. You'll see it here. Number 55 fights off the... Goes by the block of number 44, Nealon, puts the pressure on the quarterback. Petty puts it up down the sideline, and Tim Bush almost steps in front and has a pick for the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs.
Harbison was back to help receive the punt, but now they've got a whole bunch of people trying to come in on him, and that strategy may have rattled the punter. And look what it does. It turns the ball over, and Olmsted Falls is going to have a great opportunity to do something with the football right now. Very difficult time there for Brian Paclone to grab the football and to try to punt it.
Well, what really rattled them was the sudden cloudburst that we just had. And that's sort of what we've been experiencing all night long. It sort of drizzles for a while, and then we just get an absolute downpour. And that, I think that made the ball look slick there. Might have gone right through his hands. I don't think he ever fielded it cleanly.
Olmsted Falls with the ball just about on the 30-line. And they give it to the first man through, and that's Andy Post. Andy Post coming into this game, he had one receiving touchdown in the season, 214 yards through the ground, 4.4 yards per carry. He's got 2 touchdowns on the ground as well.
John, I alluded to it in the open, and this is nothing, not taking anything away from Olmsted Falls. This is sort of how they've lived all season long, by taking advantage of other teams' mistakes. They've got an opportunity here. Let's see if they cash in.
Quarterback is Tim Mattis, and there's the other Tim Radigan, showing that bulldozing ability, Matt, as he bounces off the initial tackler and then gets some more yardage for them.
Tim Radigan is one of those guys who doesn't look like a whole lot. When you go out and maybe watch him on the practice, you take a look at this guy and you think, he doesn't look like much. But boy, I tell you what, you put him in behind that offensive line, and I said, he is a bulldog. I mean, here's a guy who really mirrors his team's moniker.
5'10", 187. And right there, Mattis is just met by a whole bunch of shoremen, including 79, Josh Shanker, who's coming into this game at 8 sacks on the season, 3 block shots. He's just found defensive lineman for Avon Lake. You see Mattis head down the line. And Shanker was there, Ballinger, and what have you. Tim Mattis, the QB. To throw, an out pattern, it picked off. And it looks like Bristow has a chance to go all the way. He's being chased. He's still on his feet. And he's got the touchdown. That was Sean Bristow. Quick out pass, and boy, did he read that beautifully, Matt.
82 yards on the interception return for a touchdown by Bristow. Again, it's a situation where Mattis wants the quick out. Unfortunately, he never took his eyes off his primary receiver. Bristow simply read the QB's eyes, stepped in front, and then he just avoided a couple of tackles down the stretch, putting Avon Lake on the board.
Mattis trying to get him. Radigan. Well, right now they're up by nothing count. Here's your extra point try. And it is now 7-0. 4:37 to go, Matt, here in the first quarter of play. And Avon Lake, who won 35-7 in the regular season in Week 7 against the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs, draws first blood.
It's a situation where the Bulldogs had an opportunity to take advantage of a mistake that was made by Avon Lake and not being able to get the punt off. They get into a fourth down situation. They make a mistake. It turns into an Avon Lake touchdown. Avon Lake is really used to jumping on the opponents in the early going of football games. They outscored their opponents this year in the first half by a collective margin of 191-38.
So Olmsted Falls is going to get another crack at it right now, and as you can tell, the rain still continues to fall. At points, it's just stopped altogether, but at the moment, as you look at that outstanding high school marching band doing their thing in the stands right now, there you can see a good shot from our wide camera there of how the rain is coming down in sheets here at Lakewood Stadium. Footing's very good. It's outstanding, actually, as it always is here at Lakewood Stadium. But now it's going to be difficult to hang on to the football, although Sean Bristow had no problems there with that football.
I'm anxious to see how Keith Hilly is going to approach this kickoff. If he's going to try to squib it down the field, that'll get that ball good and lathered up, make it really hard for somebody to try and pick up. Or if he'll try to kick it deep. If he elects to try and kick it up into the air, he's kicking dead into the wind.
He's a 6'4", 175-pound junior. And he puts it up into the air. That is Andy Post who came up with a football as he advances it around the 40-yard line. So Olmsted Falls will again try to head down the field and do so without some kind of a turnover to hurt their chances. They trail by a 7-0 count with 4:31 to go here in the first quarter of play against Avon Lake. Avon Lake, year in a row for them to be in the playoffs.
They were a state semifinalist a year ago. I believe it was a team from Clyde that knocked them out.
Forgot to get the T there. Youngster does the duties. And here comes the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. That's Tyler Stillman, 24, right in front of your camera. And it's with a lot of folks knocking him around. One of the first hits there at 57, by the way, Nick Scarpelli and Kamoonhome.
Options are always tough to run for a quarterback, especially in this defense right now, sort of sitting back and waiting for Mattis to cut up the field. Option works ideally when a defense over pursues and they over penetrate.
Second down at 10. Mattis going to throw. Tries to find an outlet. Gives it a bit of air, but just over the hands of the intended receiver. That looked like Harbison there, number 16. Just a bit on the incomplete side.
Good drop. Steps up into the pocket nicely with the pressure on, and he airs it out. Puts it out there, too. That's a good job by quarterback, only where your guy can get the football. No chance of an interception this year. Tim Mattis has really been a smart quarterback all season long. He only threw 4 interceptions through 10 games before that pass he threw a couple of moments ago that resulted in an Avon Lake touchdown.
Kelly was there for the coverage for Avon Lake. Pretty apparent what happened right there, Matt. So the referees would do their duty.
Defense, dead ball, encroachment, defense.
So the men in stripes getting a bit on the busy side right now. There's your referee. The umpire is Brett Willoughby, Larry Ullery, Jim Hayes, and Harold Vaughn round out the Pearson Tyson here at Lakewood Stadium.
Another smart move by the quarterback. He got himself a free 5 yards in essence. Instead of 3rd and 10, it's now 3rd and 5.
Here comes Tim Radigan, right side.
Number 35, Tim Radigan, the ball carrier.
Be about a yard short of the first down for Olmsted Falls. They're going to have to punt it to the Shoremen.
Here's your replay here, and looks like the junior Smuhoney with the nice job on the defensive side of the ball.
And it's a great stop by him, because if he doesn't make the tackle, Radigan's got a blocker in front of him and plenty of green downfield.
There's the punt, and that's going to go a long way to Sean Bristow. Manhandles it, mishandles the ball. Down
at the 1 yard line.
Big break for Olmsted Falls. Outstanding punt, but again, there's the factor of the wind, Matt.
Well, in one case, you look at Sean Bristow and say he almost gave back the gift that he gave to his own team, but he did a smart thing by getting on the football. Unfortunately for Avon Lake, he gets on the football and he's down at the 1 yard line. And with the wind in your face, that really puts your offense in a precarious position right now.
Once those knees hit, that's history. So there's a look at how the wind has been knocking the flag around in the football as well. They have the ball in their own end zone, but Breeze gives them a little bit of comfort as he bangs it over the 5 yard line out to about the 8. And that will give them just a little bit more breathing room. The Avon Lake offense.
That's where Breeze is such a good running back, John. Olmsted Falls had a shot at him at the line of scrimmage. He bounced off that tackle, pulled a couple of guys with him forward, picks up, give him almost 6 yards on the carry. That's what they average as a team, a little more than 6 yards a carry.
6 it is. It's 2nd and 4, and once again, Breeze with some very good yardage coming out over the middle. He's going to be tackled there by number 44, Bryce Burkhardt. Again, we're talking about his ability to come up and support the run, and that was an instance right there for Burkhardt. He's a good ball hawk defensively, but also plays the run very solidly.
And a huge hole up front by that Avon Lake offensive line. Josh Henry, the center, and Ryan Pallinger, the guard, Nick Scarpelli, another guard. I mean, they really opened it up front.
Some big numbers for Jeff Breeze. There he is with the football again, left side. Very quick burst over the left tackle. Running right behind Josh Schenker, Matheson, Pallinger, Scarpelli, and Josh Henry.
You saw there a moment ago, Jeff Breeze, 36 rushing TDs. He had 38 on the season. His team only had 50. I mean, this guy is an end zone man. He scored 12 more TDs and scored 59 more points than anyone else in Northeastern Ohio.
It's 2nd and 5, and Petty's with the ball, but he's got some room. He's heading towards the sidelines. He's still on his feet. He's to the 40, 30, give and chase, 20, down on the 13-yard line. Matt Petty. And it looks like Tim Bush was the man who saved the touchdown.
And Shane Formica is just sick to his stomach right now, because watch him come flying. Well, you're not going to see it there. He came flying into the backfield and had a shot at Petty, couldn't bring him down. It ends up in a huge gain for Avon Lake. Watch Petty go flying in right there, missed the tackle, opens it up, and he gets outside contained down the sideline. And now Avon Lake 1st and 10 inside the 15.
64-yard run. Breeze once again up the middle, following his lead blockers, heading towards Pater. Menadio, one of the guys there to stop him.
30 seconds left in the first quarter, John. Even though, yes, there's a ton of football left to be played, critical time right now for the Olmsted Falls defense. Have to hold them to at least a field goal here.
Ball is on the 12. And Jeff Breeze has it. Twice through a few folks to get down to about the 6-yard line. And that will just about do it here for the first quarter of play, as Avon Lake has the lead, and they have the football. And that will do it. Avon Lake Shoreman leading by a 7-0 count over Olmsted Falls. Avon Lake 9-1 heading into this contest, and Olmsted Falls 7-3 as we continue on with our coverage. Channel 25 High School Football Playoff. Welcome back, Lakewood Stadium. Avon Lake by 7-0 count over Olmsted Falls. Let's take a look at what Avon Lake has done offensively in the first quarter. 14 plays, 116 yards on the ground. The big man is Mr. Breeze, but obviously the quarterback Petty's did a great run there to get him deep into Olmsted Falls territory. 9 plays on the side of Olmsted Falls offensively.
64-yard run by Petty, longest of the season for him.
And they stand real close here. They are at about a 3rd and 1 situation. And they give it to Jeff Breeze. He has enough. And he continues to follow the pile. Getting deep into territory there. Siegel, one of the defenders there for Olmsted Falls, to bring down Jeff Breeze.
This is where, if you're head coach Dave DeLugas, this is right where you want to be. 1st and goal, inside the 3. You basically have 3 shots to give it to Jeff Breeze and get him into the end zone. The good thing if you're Olmsted Falls, you know where the ball is going here.
Just following everybody where they want to be. They move now. Henry, Scarpelli, Matheson, Callinger, the men up front doing the job.
That is exactly what they did. They moved the pile. Jeff Breeze simply got in behind them and just went right. Watch this block up front. Look at this. The wall of red. He just follows it right into the end zone.
Outstanding block there by Nick Scarpelli. He's a 6-footer at 232 pounds. Here comes Jika. He's going to throw the ball. And it is incomplete. Broken up by 44 Burkhardt. And now they trail by a 13-0 count. And it is a time for Olmsted Falls to see if they can get this kickoff, Matt, and do something with it, because things have not worked out for them so far in this contest. A huge interception in return for a score, and a 64-yard run by Petty. Those are the big plays so far.
No, the wind didn't help Olmsted Falls when they had it behind them. Avon Lake scored 13 points in essence going into the win, so maybe it'll work in Olmsted Falls' favor as well. Sometimes, John, I think you can almost get yourself into a situation where you psych yourself out with regards to the wind or the rainy conditions.
Take a look at the scoring drive. 8 plays, 98 yards. How fortuitous it was that, at least at the moment, it looked like it was as far as when Bristow bobbled the football and it's down on the 2-yard line, yet they drive 98 yards for the score. So they turn a very huge disadvantage into something that's a big plus for them. And they lead 13-0, and they await the kickoff from one of their big guys. This is Hilly, Keith Hilly. 6'4", 175 pounds, and he is a junior. Going to be taken by, looks like 16 Harbison to the left side. And that was a good piece of coverage by number 9, and that's Dave Horton. Dave Horton with the tackle for the Avon Lake Shoremen. So Olmsted Falls will take over offensively once again. 11:34 to their second quarter. You're watching tournament football right here on WVIZ. John Telich and Matt Underwood behind the microphone. And here's Olmsted Falls. Andy Post with the foot going right behind center. Got a bit of holding going on.
I like the call. Quick trap right over center. Unfortunately, one of the Olmsted Falls blockers got a fistful of jersey, didn't let go quick enough, and the referee, whose job it is to watch specifically for that, threw the flag immediately. I mean, the flag goes in there almost before Radigan, or the fullback, hits across the line of scrimmage.
He had some pretty good yardage on that play.
Your first down.
And Andy Post, what did he get? He had almost 7 or 8 yards on the run. And this is a situation on a night like this you just don't want to have to be in. First and 20.
He has got the eye behind him. That's Stillman. He's in motion to the far side. And he's going to throw. Over the right side, it's caught.
Tim Bush, an excellent job.
Tim Bush lining up as tight end and releasing.
Did a great job. Basically, it's a corner route, a flag route, if you will. Mattis, good play action fake, sets up nice strong throw, hits Bush in stride. The young man gathers it in, heads up field, and it's a huge first down. So
really
maybe they do need to be in 1st and 20 more often.
Brian Jika was there defensively for Avon Lake Shoreman. It is 1st and 10 right about at midfield. And they're going to give the ball to Tim Radigan, a runner, and he gets about 8 yards right there for Olmsted Falls. They got to get him, Matt, into some kind of a rhythm to get down the field.
Well, certainly when you hit a big pass play, sometimes that'll open up your running game almost immediately. Good lead block right there by number 19. Andy Post opens up the hole, and Tim Radigan rifles his way through it. He averaged 5.7 yards per carry this year. Head coach Jim Ryan of Olmsted Falls told us before the game, must run the ball well tonight to win.
And there's the Shoreman coaching staff. They give it to the first man through, Andy Post. It takes Keith Hilly, it takes Sean Bristow and a few others to bring him down. A nice piece of running. They're hitting him with the quick stuff now.
12-yard gain on that play, and although they ran this a couple of moments ago, different look on the play, but they did give it to Andy Post a couple of plays ago. This is what you do. You give it to Radigan, and then wham with the fullback right up the middle. And sometimes you can catch a middle linebacker maybe over pursuing to Radigan going wide, and the cutback is there.
It is 1st and 10. Ball is on the 30-yard line. And this is Stillman in motion, coming right at you, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Mattis, the QB. Some pressure and nowhere to go. Nowhere to go.
Well, they just overwhelmed him.
Looked like Scarpelli among those. Yeah, Scarpelli grabbing around the waist and wrestling them down. Nick Scarpelli.
Well, the guy who really makes it happen for Avon Lake is Rick Strock. He comes off the corner with the blitz, and that forces Tim Mattis to have to cut it up. Well, when he cuts it up, he goes right into the teeth of the Avon Lake defense.
Quarterback is Tim Mattis. This is Burkhardt, 44, in motion towards us. And it looked like Scarpelli just beat everybody to football. Look at that job that he did defensively for Avon Lake. Look how quick he was.
He beat Tim Mattis to the football. I mean, look at that. Tim Mattis gets one step away from the center, and Scarpelli is right on his hide, collars him, puts him down, and it's 3rd long for Olmsted Falls.
A very promising drive right now in the last couple of plays. Not looking so good for Olmsted Falls as the defense of the Shoremen, and there's head coach DeLugas and company. They've got their charges really charged up at this moment. They don't want Olmsted Falls to move towards the touchdown. Here comes Andy Post. Hit hard by 44, Nealon.
There's going to be about 7 yards of first down. Once again, a 4th down situation. You really can't punt. You're too close for that. In these conditions, you don't want to try a field goal, so they're going to go for it. Question is, John, what do you do in terms of play selection here? Yeah, you say immediately, well, it's a passing situation, but at the same time, the way they've been hitting with the fullback and with Radigan, they might try a run, but I got a feeling the wet and windy conditions, Jim Ryan coming out to talk it over with the quarterback, they will go to the air here.
Such a daunting proposition that they are taking the timeout to check it out to make sure they have everything right now. Post with 3 carries, 24 yards. Radigan with 5 for 15, so they really don't have him on track as of yet. And Mattis has carried the ball 4 times, hasn't really had much success in that regard. In the passing department, Mattis 1 of 3, 33 yards. Of course, the very costly interception. SHAWN Bristow for them. And of course, the 1 reception was the 33-yarder by Tim Bush.
Anytime in a situation like this, as a player, when you know you're on a long drive, you've got a 4th down, and the coach calls timeout, comes out on the field, wants to talk it over, you know this is very, very important. So that the players right now know how vital it is right here to get the first down to keep this drive alive.
It is 4th and 6. And the quarterback is Tim Mattis. It looks like they got those shoremen to do them a bit of a favor. They have been our friend, Mr. Scarpelli.
And that's just a situation where, as a defensive line coach, you preach to your players every single day. Watch the football. You don't go on the sound. You go into the football. There's a case there where guys got a little over anxious, and you'll see it right here. Good hard count there by Tim Mattis, and immediately two guys cross the line of scrimmage for Avon Lake. Now, John, now you've got a situation, 4th and, well, a long one where you can run the football.
Everybody's bunched up front here. And it's Tim Radigan, and it will be close. Look like he has enough, and they do signal that. There's Aaron Weems.
Again,
defensively, therefore, is Shoreman.
Great coaching, great execution. I'm sure that's what Jim Ryan had in mind. Let's go on a long count, try to draw them off sides. If we do, then we set ourselves up for our bread and butter, which is Radigan right up the middle behind a wall of it.
Radigan, a very popular name in sports in that area. Quite a few outstanding athletes in that regard. Still has the football. Mattis throwing over the end zone area, and it's broken up by number 88, Keith Hilly. Good job by the 6'4", 175-pounder at the last second, deflecting the football away.
Well, it's a situation for Hilly where that's his area. He has got to be responsible for any receiver that comes in the middle of the field on him the whole way. Mattis tries to thread the needle. Watch Hilly get a hand in there. Knocks the ball away.
Second and 10. Andy Post with the football. Boy, nobody bought it. And he's in for the score. Great job of keeping the balance. Andy Post put aboard.
What a tremendous piece of running by Andy Post. John, I don't think he ever took both arms off the football the whole way, even though he was kind of getting knocked around, almost lost his balance, but he maintained his composure right into the end zone. Great blocking and a super cutback. Watch right here.
Really nice.
He almost goes down, his foot slips, but he stays on his feet, gets into the end zone.
Bristow nearly brought him down on about the 5-yard line. Watch also on the run here. He's going to get by 87 there. And here's Bristow. We come back to live action there in the kick. And it is no good, so it's 13-6. Avon Lake leading right now with 7:24 to go here in the second quarter of play. Lots of things on tap here as well. Of course, always enjoyable to get a chance to listen to and watch the outstanding marching band. It's always a great spectacle here on Channel 20. If you're going to look at the touchdown, he really sold it on the exchange from the quarterback. He was so nonchalant, it seemed.
Well, John, I think he was 6-7 yards downfield before anyone on Avon Lake realized he had the football. Again, it's a great job. It's a quick hitting play, and if you hit it right, that fullback is in the secondary before anyone realizes that he's going downfield. So far we've seen Avon Lake drive 98 for a touchdown when they had their backs up against the end zone in the shadow of their own goalpost. And now really on what I almost was thinking was a must drive for Olmsted Falls to get at least something on the board. They come up huge. They convert on a 4th down situation to keep the drive alive. And then Andy Post caps it with a great 19-yard run.
Bristow's the man in the middle, but he will not get the football as it squibbles down the field and picked up and right there. Protecting that thing like one of your own is their outstanding running back, Jeff BREESE. So he will get to work.
Jeff BREESE figures, I get to run it enough from scrimmage. I'm not going to try and pick this thing up and be a hero.
There's your scoring drive, Matt.
10 plays, 73 yards, 4 minutes, 14 seconds for the Bulldogs. 7:17 left in the first half as Avon Lake takes over at their 31-yard line.
Fullback is Nealon, running back is BREESE, and that's Petty for QB. He's got some room. Still on his feet. He's going to get 10, maybe 11 yards on the play. Tackled by Tyler Stillman.
Design run all the way. The receivers go downfield. They sell it. Very good job of selling their routes, but immediately when they break down, they're in a blocking formation down. Good job if they fend off the tackler. Petty picks up the first.
Already on the night, 88 yards for Petties on 3 carries. Of course, a big one, a 64-yarder. It's 1st and 10. And here comes Jeff BREESE. All kinds of folks there, including Shane Formica, who is a junior at 5'10", 180 pounds. He's caused 3 fumbles this year. He's recovered 2 others, so very active as a linebacker for the Olmsted Falls defense, averaging on defense about 11 points per contest this year. The rain coming down quite a bit here at Lakewood Stadium. Jeff BREESE diving over the top and being met by Andy Post. Does share some of those linebacking duties with the senior Tim Radigan, the outstanding running back as well. Jeff BREESE vaulting over the line and being brought down to the artificial surface here at Lakewood Stadium by Andy Post. And here's what BREESE is up to: 13 carries, 49 yards so far on the evening.
3rd down and a long 4.
Jeff BREESE.
Very close to the 1st down marker there as the clock continues to move along. At 5:36 to go here in the 2nd quarter. We're at Lakewood Stadium. It's 13-6. Avon Lake on top of the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. Bulldogs in the playoffs for the first time, and they are trying to avenge a 35-7 loss to the Shoremen early.
And they are short. It's going to be 4th down and inches just on the other side of the 50-yard line. And head coach Dave DeLugas, we've now experienced torrential rain, is going to go for it.
Right up the middle. Plenty for Mr. BREESE. Jeff BREESE going right up the gut. Going right behind Josh Henry, Scarpelli, Pallinger, Matheson, Schenker. Very good offensive line.
And basically at this point, whether you're wearing those tack-a-fied gloves or not, hold on to the football here. It's very, very slippery, especially as the rains come down extremely hard. There's not a dry part on your body yet.
Jeff BREESE once again carrying the load for the Shoremen.
And John, I also think it's very important for both of these teams in a game like this, when you've got inclement weather, to have 2 running backs who have picked football as many times as these 2 guys have. They know how to get it done. They know how to protect it. You're not going to see these 2 guys cough it up unless somebody reaches in there and pries it loose.
2nd down, 8. Big initial hit. Celebrating the solid hit is Jamie Piazza. Nice piece of defense by him. They hit him hard with the shoulder, and that's concern of the coaching staff of Olmsted Falls. He's had somewhat of a tender shoulder, so at times they'll spell him with Chris Barr, number 74. But a big hit there by the senior, 5'7", 190 pounds. A little on the light side there for the defensive line, but boy, he's active. A nice play by him as he does the job defensively. 3rd and 7. And Petty's better look out from behind. It's knocked. He was knocked as he threw. It looked like it was Tim Radigan who got him, the running back and the linebacker, if you will, doing double duty tonight for the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs.
That's one of the advantages to having your top running back as an outside linebacker. He's very quick off the corner. This is a blitz all the way. Anytime there's a rollout, the linebacker away from the play has one responsibility: make a beeline for the quarterback. He did that. And now we've got flags on the play. Check it.
Referee conferring a bit there with the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs, talking to Bryce Burkhardt there, number 44. Give us the situation.
Holding. Offense. Still 3rd down.
Sort of an interesting situation there where Jim Ryan elects to take the penalty rather than to force him immediately into a punting situation, figuring that if they can hold him here,
it's 10 yards they want.
Exactly. And hey, John, right now, the rain is coming down, and Avon Lake's already had trouble getting 1 punt away. That's not a sure thing at this point.
Great job by our camera crew out there tonight. 3:52 to go, 2nd quarter.
Jeff BREESE not in the game right now. More of a spread formation for the Shoremen.
Okay, and that's Jika in motion, number 83. He's going to throw to the outside, and he could not hang on. That's Sean Bristow. Minotti there defensively, number 59, but Bristow unable to hold on to the football.
Well, Minadio was trying to recreate the play that Bristow made earlier in the game where he stepped in front, picked off the pass, and ran it back for a touchdown. Minadio got in there, did break it up, unable to make the pick.
They got a whole bunch of yardage to go here on 4th down. 4th and 15. And that's the ball away. He gets it off. They're going to let it bounce, and it does go into the end zone, so Olmsted Falls takes over with a lot of time, Matt. 3:40 to go here, second quarter. Now they have the opportunity to mount another long scoring drive, but one that could bring them real tight in this game.
And it's a situation where you want to be cautious. You don't want to be careless in throwing the football away in a situation like that.
So those are some of the obstacles that they face. A lot of the folks with those creative umbrellas here at Lakewood Stadium. Folks here at Lakewood always great in hosting us. We appreciate it much. And there's Jim Radigan brought down rather quickly by Aaron Weems. Aaron Weems is the senior. He's got great speed at 4 in the 40. He's 6'3", 206. Real tough package. He has 2 forced fumbles this year and 9 tackles per contest. Outstanding student at 3.2 GPA. And 2 forced fumbles on the season as well. Aaron Weems, 2-way performance.
I remember last year in a critical game for Avon Lake against North Olmsted. The Eagles had scored. They were going for 2 to try and tie it up, and Weems intercepted the pass in the end zone to kill that and end the football game.
There's Tim Radigan.
Oh, post fumble.
And it's swallowed up by 72, Matheson. That is 72, Matheson of Avon Lake. Big turnover.
That ball was literally swatted out of his arms. If we get another look at it, you'll see what I'm talking about. The Avon Lake tackler went up and literally whacked the ball right on number 19's hand.
Matheson with the ball right now. It's gone right there. Down on the ground, and it was recovered by 72. You'll see him dive.
It comes right to him.
And it's his football. And here comes BREESE. Right up the middle. Boy, this is a key turnover in this football game. So the workhorse continues to do his job. We move on down the field. Ben Rogers there. Nice lead block, number 39 for the Avon Lake Shoremen. Second down and 1. He got a big chunk on that first play. Follows his blockers. He's going to have enough for the first down.
Going to be first and goal at the 6 for Avon Lake.
Take a look at some of the play selection, but Avon Lake has put the ball up in the air.
A moment ago on 3rd and long, they tried to pass. It was incomplete.
Rain continues to move along here. Jeff BREESE once again getting close to scoring territory there. Number 52, Siegel there. Bush there defensively as well. BREESE now with 20 carries. Talk about the workhorses. Already 20 carries, 77 yards. The rain is really coming down in torrents at this moment. Still got a stiff breeze heading from the south. Minute 29 to go. The pitch to BREESE follows a whole bunch of folks, and it looks like he's got it for the pound.
Well, anytime this team gets inside the 10-yard line, if you follow number 33, he has the football. This is a guy who now has 40 touchdowns on the season for Avon Lake High School.
I'll tell you what, it's not really that much of a surprise to see him following Ballinger. This is an outstanding offensive lineman. 65 right there. 65, blowing the boom on some folks. He's a captain. Graded out this year at about 87% blocking efficiency. Just an outstanding offensive lineman. Took a while to get the kick up in the air, but the kick is good. So Avon Lake, in some ways, pads the lead, capitalizing twice tonight on turnovers. They get, of course, the interception return for the score, and then here that was swallowed up is converted into a touchdown thanks to the ground game of Jeff BREESE.
In their first 10 games this year, Avon Lake averaged 19 points in the first half. Their opponents averaged less than 4. So they're really about. This is how their season has gone almost all year long. In fact, the only dip in terms of their season was against Amherst, a game in which they were shut out 14. The only time they were shut out all year.
And we encourage you to stay tuned after tonight's game, and we'll bring you the Olmsted Falls High School Marching Band and the Avon Lake High School Marching Band. So don't miss this great show at the conclusion of tonight's game.
Well, here in the press box, we need windshield wipers and a defog.
Not that long of a scoring drive. 4 plays, 19 yards. And it only took a minute 35. We have a minute 20 to go here in the second quarter. And here's the kick. Speared deep into his own territory. Looks like it's Tyler Stillman. Those long legs. He was a member of their state championship by 800 relay team. So he can cover a lot of ground in a very short period of time. So Olmsted Falls takes over with a long way to go for a touchdown.
2 costly killer turnovers so far for Olmsted Falls. The interception returned for a touchdown and the fumble, in which it took Avon Lake 4 plays to put that one in the end zone. Leading 20-6. Pardon me for stepping there on your match, but Tim Radigan, a nice job there on the special teams, leading the way for the run. Stillman. He's going to throw. And he's being pressured by Pallinger. Still has nobody. And now jumps on by 2 or 3, Shorman. Good job defensively by Avon Lake. Well, that was a situation where Tim Mattis dropped back. You're going to see him pump fake. He tries to pump the corner. He wanted Tyler Stillman down the sideline, but unfortunately for him, Brian Jika was playing deep middle of the field, and there was just no way he wasn't open. He had to tuck it and run, and it was a penalty flag. I believe this is going to be marked off against the Bulldogs.
1:05 to go here, second quarter. That's the 87, Aaron Weems of Avon Lake. It will be against Olmsted Falls, making it even more difficult for them to get going here before halftime. They trail 20-6.
Yeah, that's a personal foul, blocked below the waist, and really backs him up. First down in Federal Express.
Absolutely, positively. Has to be there by halftime. Tim Radigan deep back. Andy Post is right behind the quarterback, Tim Mattis. Mattis, one of the captains on the team. Harbison in motion right now. And they give to the first man through, Andy Post. He hangs on this time for the football. As the clock moves until, and now they're calling a timeout. Avon Lake is calling the timeout. Take a look at the replay here. Not much on the inside, so he tries to bounce it out, and really not much there as well. Josh Schenker there with the play. He's got 8 sacks on the season, 3 blocked passes. He's recovered 2 fumbles. Looks like Ryan Pallinger is the man down. He's number 65, and he's that outstanding. Defensive lineman, offensive lineman.
Yeah,
losing him would be big.
He's a key element on this Avon Lake football team, not only offensively, but defensively. Interesting to note, Andy Post with 6 carries already tonight. The guy had less than 50 carries for the entire season, so he averaged less than 5 carries a game, and already tonight, 6 carries, 44 yards. He does have a touchdown. Tim Radigan, 7 carries for just 19 yards. So Avon Lake has done what they wanted to do, and that was try and take Radigan out. But they've been unable to really to stop Post so far, except in which they forced the fumble.
Jim Ryan, the head coach of Olmsted Falls, and saying before the game, got to be able to run the football, and so far just haven't been able to do it as consistently as he would like, and obviously Radigan having a very difficult time getting on track.
Well, they had the one drive, and that's definitely what they want to build on as they head in here at halftime and try and work on the second half. Olmsted Falls, believe it or not, I'm not just saying this to hook the audience, they are a second half team. That in a moment.
Tyler Stillman in motion. And Tim Radigan with the football, and really not much room there to go. And again, the clock is stopped by the Shoremen. They want one more shot at it because it really is very deep in the territory of Olmsted Falls.
For whatever reason, Olmsted Falls has outscored their opponents in the SAP by a margin of 138 to 39. And defensively, they've only allowed one touchdown in the third quarter all season long. So these two teams are almost like mirror images of each other, except Avon Lake's a fast starter. Olmsted Falls is more of a slow starter. They really get revved up in the second half. We'll have to see if that plays out again here tonight.
So head coach Jim Ryan will have a lot of talking to do at halftime to his team, the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. You see some of the footwear here, and I believe that's also Ballinger walking a little bit tenderly there on the sideline. I'm sure he'll be back in the game. He's an outstanding football player. 6 foot, 220 pounds, third in the state, by the way, in wrestling. And one of the strongest kids on the team, benches about 320. So they run behind him, will try to run at him, and don't have much success. He can play football very well. He's the third down conversion, and as you can see, if they make a first down right here, they will have a first for the game. Neither team has had success in that category.
On the play before the snap.
Seen quite a few performances by our friend right here with a white cap tonight.
Illegal signal.
Illegal signal.
We're going to put it back up for sure.
25 seconds to go.
Is that in the official rules?
Illegal signal. There's a man who's done an outstanding.
5-yard penalty.
Here's the explanation. Boy, you think
He's at a loss.
Right.
He's at a loss for words.
He's doing the Jerry Marks.
Nothing wrong. That's what he's trying to say.
Don't tell him more than you have to. I think it would be if you're the referee. I'll tell you, put a microphone in his hands and he's a dangerous man, huh? Once again, 25 seconds to go. He's conferring with DeLugas and company. Now, here, you just put this on and you talk to him. You must be talking to, obviously, the coach upstairs.
Well, we lost a second off the play clock, and I think that's what saved DeLugas.
One of the officials up here in the press box helping to put the game on, if you will. He's from the Lakewood Board of Security. You can see in the top of your screen right there. He was just on the headset there talking to the official and said put 6 seconds on the clock, I believe.
I think 1 second. There were 26 seconds in.
So there should be 26.
Yeah.
Now they have it.
And we're still not real clear on the penalty.
You were alluding earlier about the penalty situation. Seems like there's been more than that, to be honest with you. 26 seconds to go here. 20-6. Avon Lake in the lead. Tim Mattis, the quarterback of Olmsted Falls, to straight away to Andy Post. Hanging on for dear life. Number 73, Kamuk. I've always been goofing up this young man's name. Kumuhoni. That's Chris Kumuhoni, 5'10", 260-pounder. And that matters.
Critical situation right here for Olmsted Falls. 4th down. The punter is going to basically be standing out his own goal line. And you really need to get a good punt away here, even though you're punting into the wind. And the conditions are less than ideal, to say the least. Can't afford any mistakes right here, because if you have a bad snap or a fumbled snap by the punter, you basically just gave Avon like 6 more points. 21 seconds left here in the first half. Timeout on the feet. And I'm sure that is exactly what the Olmsted Falls coaches and players are talking about. Very critical situation here. Don't take care of the football. And of course, for Avon Lake, turn them loose, go after it. I wouldn't. They're going to put 1 guy back. They're going to drop 2. Surprised they don't just send 10.
Standing on about his own 2. snap. He's got it cleanly. Mattis gets it off. It's a squiver on down at about the, I'd say about the 33-yard line. So Avon Lake has 12 seconds to play with. And where one would assume it would be breeze, 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 we shall see if it is. 18 yards on that punt right there.
Good situation for Avon Lake right now because you have the wind at your back. You can literally just drop back, heave one up to the end zone, get a little help from the wind. Clock starts on a change of possession, so immediately they down the ball to try and get it stopped. 11 seconds. They might be able to get 2 plays if they can get the ball away quickly here.
Sure, this is the case all over northern Ohio. A lot of soggy football stadiums. A lot of drenched fans and players. And right now it's 20-6. Avon Lake over Olmsted Falls here in the second quarter of play.
Could be worse. Could be snow.
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow. Matt Petty's right over the middle, almost intercepted by Tim Bush, number 29.
Tim Bush got a hand on it. Unable to bring it in.
He's caused a couple of fumbles so far this year. He had that nice catch and run earlier in the game and nearly a pick right there over the middle. 7 ticks left here on the clock in the second quarter. The lone back is Nealon. Going deep. And picked off by Stillman, who's done that quite a bit this year, and that should end the first half.
Oh my goodness. It's a touchdown for Avon Lake. The ball was fumbled by Stillman. I think the players thought Stillman was down by contact, and we'll have to take another look. The ball was loose. Avon Lake picked it up and in for a touchdown. Everyone sort of stopped thinking the play was dead. Now we've got some...
No, they're going to give it to him. He's celebrating. That's Brian Jika, number 83 of Avon Lake. And we'll take a look at this once again, but you're right. Stillman's done it so often this year. Okay, he's got the ball. The ball was coming down.
Falls out before he hit the ground.
And Tim Bush just kind of nonchalants it. And then here comes the opportunistic
number 83.
Number 83, Brian Jika, touchdown.
Wow.
What an incredible turn of events for Jim Ryan. There he is out pleading his case. He is saying, didn't the whistle blow? You know, maybe that's the contention. Here we go with the situation that we've had in the NFL a few times. Maybe the whistle had blown. I couldn't tell if it did or did not. Maybe they had stopped. They thought the play had stopped. But it's clear on the replay that the ball was coming for his knees, did touch the ground. And a great piece of being right on the money for Brian Jika as he celebrates there.
Take one more look at it. Does look like the ball comes out before he's down, and then Tim Bush can't pick it up. He's on the ground. He can't pick it up. Donadio can't get it.
So no one has possession. Jika came along. Here's the point after try. It is good
with no time left on the clock.
You thought the half was over at that moment. Instead, you had 7 more points on the board for Olmsted Falls.
Be interesting to see how they bounce back from. That's a very tough blow going into the locker room at halftime.
Sure is. At the end of the first half, the score here in Lakewood is Avon Lake 27, Holmes Falls 6. As the bands prepare to take the field, we're going to take a short break. When we return, we'll be bringing you third quarter action. However, you won't miss a minute of this great high school band show, which we will present at the conclusion of tonight's game. We'll be back with the second half right after this. Lakewood Stadium, Lakewood, Ohio. Channel 25's coverage of high school football. We are now in the playoffs, and we are in the first round, and there is the head coach and company of the Avon Lake Shoreman, Dave DeLugas. Everybody's soggy, but it's not so bad to be that soggy when you've piled up this kind of offensive situation when you're Avon Lake. Look what they've done, and one of the big things there to look at is that 3-1 incident turnovers.
Well, in a sense, John, you throw all those stats out because the 3 turnovers are the game. The interception return for a touchdown to put Avon Lake on the board initially. The fumble inside their own 20 that it took Avon Lake 4 plays to turn into another touchdown. And then right at the end of the first half, what looked to be an Olmsted Falls interception to thwart a scoring drive turned into a fumble. Lake picked it up. Brian Chica ran it into the end zone, and it's 27-6. Avon Lake at the head.
Here you take a look at the possessions there for the Avon Lake Shoremen. As you mentioned, those two plays were just huge. The 77-yard interception return and that 7-yard fumble was right at the end of the half. And you know, you figure you're going in down by a 20-6 count if you Jim Ryan and the Olmsted Falls team. But take a look here. Here's the interception by Tyler Stillman. Now he is tackled and the ball comes out right there. Did the whistle blow? Nobody seems to know. That's Tim Bush, 29, kind of looking for the ball. And then you will watch and see 83, Brian Chica. You also saw the official throw down the marker there on that yard line, signifying that that's where it should have ended. But the play continued, and it was a touchdown. And a 27-6 count here as we start the third quarter of play. And this is Sean Bristow, a lot of room, straight up through the middle, and tripped up somehow, but he gets some pretty good field position for the Avon Lake Shoremen.
Only one team has scored more than 13 points against the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs this year. Avon Lake, they beat them 35-7 during the regular season, and they struck for 27 in the first half here, and boy, did we just have one massive flash of lightning.
It's still on the warm side, and although I understand the meteorological marvels say that we're heading into some cold weather this weekend, that's going to come soon. Give the ball to Jeff Breeze, left side, some good blocking, and he is finally brought down by, couldn't quite get to it there. Be able to pick it up here on the replay, but there's Jeff Breeze with the football. And that was number 27, Jason Frederick. He is the senior linebacker at 6'1", 197 pounds. They bring the chains out to see just how much yardage he got, if it was enough to move the chain. Not enough there, so they look at a second down situation with just about 6 or 7 inches to go. Avon Lake on the move. They have the football. They have the lead, 27-6. Early in the third quarter here at Lakewood Stadium. It's Division III high school football, the first round of the playoffs. And Avon Lake with the football. Give to the big guy. That is Brian Nealon. He is met by 44, Bryce Burkhardt. He's the tough charging defensive back, along with the linebacker Shane Formica. Formica wearing number 15. He's caused 3 fumbles so far this season.
And he almost causes another one right there. He does a nice job, and you're going to see more of that as we get into the second half. Formica tackling with one arm, trying to strip with the other. Olmsted Falls know they have to force some turnovers here in the second half.
There's Jeff Breeze. And Jeff Breeze coming down to earth rather quickly. And boy, did he get his bell rung. In fact, he is still a bit dazed, but he hops up, hobbling somewhat.
Wow, that was a serious lick he took from Jason Frederick and Shane Formica. A double team if there ever was one.
Absolutely, a bold sandwich there, if you will. Breeze at 23 carries, 94 yards. The quarterback Petty's at 88 yards on the ground. So they're doing an outstanding job moving the football. Here comes Breeze. Cuts to the outside. 40, 30, sideline, knocked down on the 23-yard line.
Josh Schenker, the big right tackle, absolutely opened up the biggest hole we've seen all night on the right side. Watch number 79 turn his man inside, opens up that huge hole. And then Jeff Breeze is off to the races. Tim Bush forces him out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Great job up front.
Bill Breeze, who's picked up 1,800 and some yards during the season, doing what he does best. He's over the 100-yard mark. He averages 188 per game. Here's Petty's rolling left side. Good job of running to the sideline right around the 10-yard marker, so he picks up about 10 on that play.
That time, Shaker was on the left side of the offensive line doing the same thing. The big guys up front for Avon Lake are doing a tremendous job right now. Dominating the line of scrimmage. Good blocks downfield.
Yeah, another good block there by Matheson. So the guys on the line just doing a superb job. They have the ball. The clock is moving. Here comes BREESE. Bouncing to the outside, but just tripped up there by 44. Bryce Burkhardt. Good job of defense by Burkhardt as he tries to rally his team. They really are in a very difficult situation, trailing by that 27-6 count. Here's BREESE hugging the football. BREESE is over 100 yards on the night, 123. He's now on his 25th carry of the night. So he is the workhorse, just like Radigan has been the workhorse for Olmsted Falls. But tonight, Rad is not getting many opportunities to run the football. Quarterback is Petty. Here's Jeff BREESE. They're going to go with what has brought them so far. And on that play, he gets knocked down by several of the Bulldogs of Olmsted Falls.
For Mika, Bush, and also in on the tackle for Olmsted Falls is number 52, Sean Siegel.
Things a bit down here at Lakewood Stadium. Obviously on the Olmsted Falls side of things, their team is trailing, and they see that Avon Lake has the ball 3rd and 5. And your quarterback is Petty. He's going to pitch a fumble.
And the Bulldogs have it. Bryce Burkhardt.
Burkhardt is fighting Ryan Callinger for the ball, but it is Burkhardt's ball, and it is Olmsted Falls football. So they have it, and now we'll see if they can turn a turnover into something positive, because they've been giving more than receiving so far tonight.
Well, they certainly needed that right there, did the Bulldogs. They could not afford to go down by more than 21 points early in the 3rd quarter. Burkhardt scooping up the loose ball. Kind of a short pitch, and BREESE never got a handle. Actually, it was a perfect pitch. It hit him right between the numbers. Just unable to pull it in with Jeff BREESE, number 33.
So, first play, he's getting chased out of the pocket. Goes to the right side. It's caught. Staying on his feet was 44 Burkhardt.
Jason Eisenman put a pretty good lick on Burkhardt, but the scrappy wide receiver was able to stumble forward very close to a first down. Bryce's father, of course, the head wrestling coach at Fairview Park High School.
He qualified for the state competition last year, Bryce did. An outstanding two-way football player. 19 catches going into tonight for the Bulldogs, 297 yards. He averaged 15 yards per reception. Here's your QB giving it to Tim Radigan, continuing to be patient, moving along, and knocked down by several of the shoremen, finally by Keith Hilly. Good blocking by 52, 6'1", 221-pounder Sean Siegel. Watch him right here.
Watch Radigan sort of just follow him right upfield. As you mentioned, John, throughout the telecast, Radigan, like BREESE, these guys, two running backs, are very much alike.
Yep.
Very solid, hard-nosed running back. And they very rarely do you see these guys get knocked down on first contact.
Well, you alluded earlier in the broadcast how very the Olmsted Falls is in the 3rd quarter. They've given up what? Just 1 touchdown all year in this spring. So this is the time to make the move. The conditions are somewhat better. It's not raining as much. The wind seems to have died down a little bit.
And once again, I think it's the 3rd time tonight that Mattis has drawn Avon Lake offside. Picks up 5 yards and makes it 1st and 5 for his troops. I really applaud the brave souls who came out to this game here tonight. It is nasty out there.
Yes, it is.
I saw some fans come up here to the press box looking for refuge at halftime.
And you, of course, being the cold-hearted man you are, you shut
Get out
the
of
door.
here.
Get out of here.
Do you have a press pass?
Policing the press box. It'll be 1st and 5. And once again, we encourage you to stay tuned after tonight's game. We'll bring you the Olmsted Falls High School Marching Band and the Avon Lake High School Marching Band. So don't miss this great show. It will be at the conclusion of tonight's game.
First and 5 situation. Be interesting to see if Coach Jim Ryan decides to go to the air here, but we've got 2 tight ends in power eye football, and he does go to the air.
Finds a hole, but only gets about a yard or 2 on the play. That was the quarterback.
That's a situation where you had Tim Bush at one tight end and releasing him down the field. And you also had in there number 30 was the other tight end for Olmsted Falls, Matt Strachey. And with both of those guys trying to get them downfield, a good job by Avon Lake recognizing the pass immediately and covering the receivers, forcing Mattis to pull it down and run. Second and short.
Pat Beard checking into the game. Radigan grabbing the football, trying to get some yardage. Having a very difficult time getting something to go their way tonight. Outstanding job by Mahoney there defensively. He is a 5'10", 260-pounder. He is a junior. Two juniors on the defensive line. Matheson and Mahoney are the two juniors, along with Mackert, Callinger, and Schenker, the seniors. Mattis rolling right, looking, throwing deep. There's a man open. Broken up by Jika. Brian Jika looking for the flag, but there will not be a flag there.
Well, there was definitely contact before the ball got there, but perhaps the official viewing this as though the defender was going for the ball. You see the contact there before the ball is, but I think that's exactly what the official is saying, that Brian Jika was going for the football, therefore no penalty.
It is 2nd and 10. Ball is on the 37-yard line. And this football team in white trailing 27-6. Fumble, ball's over. Who's got it? It looks like Avon Lake. They say they have it. And the officials do agree. Recovered by Avon Lake. And Callinger and the defensive shoreman become offensive ones.
Ball's already on the ground there. Hard to tell if Mattis lost it after he took the snap. It didn't look like he really got a clean snap from center. In any case, Avon Lake has the football at the 38-yard line of Olmsted Falls.
Whistle before the play as Petty was trying to get a play underway for the Shoremen, who lead 27-6 now. We saw that it is
a lot about the Southwestern Conference this year. When you think about it, they sent 3 teams to the playoffs. It's pretty rare for one conference to send 3 teams to the postseason.
Offense, go first down.
You got Olmsted Falls, Avon Lake, and also Amherst in the playoffs as well. Yeah, Mattis never handled the snap cleanly, and Avon Lake comes up with the football.
Avon Lake with the ball. Quick give there to Jeff Breeze, met right in the middle.
Number 57.
When you think about that, though, Olmsted Falls in 7-3 make the playoffs, but lost to the top 2 teams in the Southwestern Conference. That means the other 5 schools in the conference that they beat had to win a lot of games in order for them to make it, and they did. It was a very competitive year here in the southwestern quadrant of northeastern Ohio.
Jeff Breeze left side, 40, scrambles, gets to about the 36-yard line, 37.
Jason Madad in there for Olmsted Falls, trying to strip the ball from Jeff Breeze as he went by.
Jeff's longest run tonight, 29 yards. He has 2 touchdowns. He has 134 on the night, 134 yards, and he's still 50 away from his nightly average. So he really is very capable of moving those chains, averaging 7.4 yards per carry. You alluded early in the program, second all-time leading scorer in Lorraine history to Al McKinney, who was a great player for Elyria Catholic. And they continue to give the ball inside. That time it was 42 Bristow. Sean Bristow, who had a touchdown, really set the tone here in terms of taking a turnover and making something out of it when he had that long interception return. So here's Bristow following his blockers.
And even though, John, it was 3rd and long there, head coach Dave DeLugos of Avon Lake doesn't want to take any chances here. You're up 21 points. You'll be satisfied here on 4th down to go ahead and punt, try to pin Olmsted Falls back, make them have to go the length of the field to get on the board.
Punt is underway and doing exactly what you had mentioned. Ball's going to die on about the 6-yard line. So the defensive shoremen do the job in terms of putting them deep in their own territory, and now Olmsted Falls gets the ball again, and Olmsted Falls has a long, long way to go. They have not been opportunistic. They also haven't allowed him to score so far. Olmsted Falls has in this third quarter, as they have done most of the year. But they got to get something going offensively. They have to score and get a turnover, get a quick score again, or it could be a case of lights out for them tonight.
Well, I'm sure it's just been very frustrating so far for Olmsted Falls because they have been their own worst enemy.
End zone pressure, throws over the middle, almost, it is intercepted by Bristow, and he is gone for a score. His second of the night. And things have broken open here at Lakewood Stadium. It was tipped, and SHAWN Bristow is right there for it.
Great job by number 42, just playing center field. That's all he's doing. Mattis again, trying to get it in there, overshoots Tim Bush right into the arms of Bristow, and for the second time tonight, that young man is into the end zone.
Once again, take a look at the throw here.
Under pressure. It was tipped by Keith Tilley.
Tilley got his hand on it, and Bristow gets another touchdown. The point after try is good. And things have really broken up, so they get another turnover, and they make the best of it. They lead 34-6 with 3:36 to go. This is almost identical to the score that it was in the regular season when these two teams met in Week 7.
Except there's still more than 15 football to play. Every single day in practice, defensive backs go through the tip drill. That's where Coach stands about 10 yards away, throws it to a one-man line. He tips it up in the air. The guy behind them makes the interception. They practice that right there. You see why they practice it. Tilley tipped it, Bristow picked it, and it's 34-6.
So turnover is a huge situation tonight, as Avon Lake's going to kick it away once again. Radigan is the man in the middle. He has been the able guy for the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. But so far tonight, offensively, Radigan's had just 10 carries, 32 yards. They've done a great job of holding him down. A post with 7 carries for 47, and Mattis has handled the ball 5 times and is at negative yardage. So the shoreman will kick it off once again. Sure, they'll just do it right in the middle of the field. Split it.
The score may resemble the first time these two teams met, but on that day, Olmsted Falls did not turn it over in an inordinate amount of time. Coach Jim Ryan said they simply got their butts beat on that night. But tonight, like I said a couple of moments ago, they are hurting themselves. 5 turnovers. 3 of them have gone touchdown.
Hansel with the football right there, recovering it, fouling on top of the football on about the 43-yard line. So they take over, and they find themselves basically in the same situation as before. Turnovers, the big story tonight. 4 of them. 5 of them for the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs.
They're short alignment, the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. Not sure if a man is injured and out of the game for them, but they were short a guy. Number 52 is now coming on the field. I believe that is Sean Siegel. He was not out on the field for as they went out there to try and snap the ball. So now he's in there.
And we'll continue along the tournament trail for you next week here on Channel 25. Next Friday night, Division II or Division III regional final. Keep tuned to Channel 25 throughout the week, and we'll let you know exactly what we're up to. And we look forward to doing what is called the second round of the playoffs, or those regional finals, if you will. You got to win 4 to win it all.
Well, the great thing is next week somebody takes home hardware. It's always fun to see anybody achieve that when you can take something home, put it in your trophy case, and say, we were the regional champions. Tonight's game, this only gets you an invitation to the regional championship game.
Look at that rushing yardage tonight, 241 yards. Not much running room for Olmsted Falls as Andy tries the middle, and Andy found just a whole bunch of shoremen.
And again, we are just getting bombarded with rain right now.
3:02 to go here, third quarter, 34-6. Avon Lake in this one-sided affair here in the first round of the playoffs.
It might take a week for some of those fans to get dried out over there.
Second down and 10. Mattis is going to throw. He's being pressured by Nealon. Nealon's got him around the legs. He gets a lot of help, but it was a good job defensively by Nealon because he flushed him to that side, and Callinger was right there, and Mattis is a little bit banged up as he steps away from the play.
Nealon ruins this play because it's supposed to be a quick pass, but as Mattis wanted to step up and throw, Nealon was blitzing right into his line of fire. He had to pull it down, try and find another place to throw. The one he's hit, sacked for a loss.
Third down and 13 for Tim Mattis and the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. He's going to throw, but he's pressured once again. Nealon did the job. Over the middle, it's caught. And that is Andy Post, and he is the 50-yard line to about the 45 of Avon Lake. So they've got something positive going here.
The first down pass completion for Tim Mattis. He avoids the blitzing Nealon, who came on the second straight play on the blitz. Hits Post. Bristow knocks him down, but not before he gets the first. I'll tell you what, being down, when you're down by 28 points and it's raining like this, I'm really impressed with Tim Mattis and really the Bulldogs offensive unit. Not hanging their heads, John. They're not down. They're trying to march down the field and get some points on the board.
He's 3 of 7 for 56 yards.
This is unbelievable.
Here it comes. Clock is moving, the wind's picked up. I think we've got a monsoon here in Lakewood. Tim Mattis, the QB, giving it to Timmy Radigan. Keep legs churning. Hit by a whole bunch of folks, including Josh Shanker, the senior at 6'3", 215 pounds. Tim Radigan really having to work for everything he's got. And I notice his helmet, he does wear that shell on the outside to protect his head. And I'm sure with as much of a workload that he gets, and especially in a play like that, it does come in handy.
He suffered a concussion in the Westlake game, which was the second to last game of the regular season. For the North Olmsted game, he did it, I guess, for that extra apparatus.
Very smart to have it. Here he comes against Gus. Football. Ball's loose. Avon Lake says they have it, and the officials agree.
Josh Shanker. He's had a big game for Avon Lake blocking offensively. Here he comes up with the loose pigskin.
Far too many turnovers to satisfy anybody on that Olmsted Falls coaching staff. 6-2 the ratio there. 6 turnovers for Olmsted Falls and Avon Lake with just a pair. But more fittingly, several of those turnovers were directly resulting in scores. 2 interception returns for scores, and another one on that pickup of the fumble that ended right before the half. It was really a key play in this game. So Avon Lake's got the ball. Jeff Breeze, boy, there's a surprise, huh? He's got the football, and he continues to run along. That should just about do it here at the end of the third quarter of play in a football contest that has, because of turnovers, turned out to be very one-sided at this point. It's 34-6. That is the score as we end the third quarter of play here at Lakewood. Olmsted Falls has a lot of work to do in the fourth quarter. Avon Lake's got the lead, and we'll be back in the fourth quarter in a minute.
Brown, continuing the tradition of helping to make.
Welcome back here. It's 34-6 Avon Lake, fourth quarter. In the first round of the playoffs here on Channel 25, Umbrella's the order of the night. And Avon Lake's offense continuing to move field. You know, 5 times this season they've scored 40 points or more, and they just may well be on their way to that once again tonight.
You know, I was looking earlier tonight, John. The first 3 games Avon Lake played this year, they outscored the opposition 138 to zip. I mean, they came out of the gate really rolling. They beat Midview, Cleveland Central Catholic, and Lorraine Admiral King shut out all three of them.
That's continuing to do the job as they move up and down the field, and also being encouraged somewhat by the recovery of those turnovers, those interceptions, what have you. It's really made things difficult for Olmsted. So other guys are getting the opportunity to get some action here as Avon Lake leads by a 34-6 count, and they need to play along here in the fourth quarter.
Of course, awaiting the winner of this game, Kenston or Revere. Those two teams squaring off tonight. Kenston, what a season they had, really coming on at the end of the season, beating Chardon to win the conference.
There's 39 Rogers once again. He gets the call. Ben Rogers is a 6'1", 200-pound junior. Some good size there. You alluded to Kenston. Outstanding player they have there in that Andy Rule. Very good football player. But outstanding program at Kenston in general. And Revere, I recall 2 or 3 years ago in the playoffs for them, they had one player that's now doing very well at Penn State.
Chuck Penzinik. That's right. Another fumble.
Special teams animal. Ball on the ground.
Avon Lake maintaining possession there.
Matheson.
If I recall, John, Revere played for the state championship a couple of years ago. Penzinik, the leader of that crew, running back.
He had huge plays in the Rose Bowl.
That's right.
Chuck Penzinik, and I've seen him as recent as last week against Northwestern, being a special team animal, breaking up things, recovering fumbles, doing all kinds of stuff. Whistles blow on the far end, by the way, in the north side of the stadium. An ambulance is making its way here into the area. We saw this problem.
That ambulance is probably packed with life preservers because we're getting ready to float away down here.
9:46 to go, 34-6 to score. Avon Lake leading very comfortably at this moment. And the clock is off, and the clock is running. It's got to be very disheartening for Olmsted Falls because to have your season end on a note such as this, it's got to be very difficult. How did he get that off?
And get it off very well.
Yes, he did. Look at that. Let's give... With the wind the way it's blowing, they can watch that little body English there and what have you. That was Dave Horton trying to push the ball down to about the 1-yard line. Brian, a bad piece of Poltrone there. Yeah. Brian Poltrone. How he got that away.
With a man draped all over him. Bad snap. Picks it up.
Wallop. It looked like Post. Was that Andy Post that hit him hard?
Yes.
And he got a 46-yard punt out of the deal. It is Avon Lake's night. That doesn't sum it up. I don't know what does.
Well, definitely, you mentioned disheartening. And it is disappointing when you fought hard to save your season after maybe it looked like it was over when you lost the 2 straight games to both Amherst and Avon Lake. But this team rallied. They came back. With a record of 7-3, they made the playoffs for the first time in school history. And so, that's definitely something to build on for head coach Jim in his 8th year at Olmsted Falls.
47-33 over the course of those 8 years of coaching the Bulldogs. They got the same backfield there, giving the ball to Tim Radigan, staying on his feet. Okay, let's blow the whistle, and that was Brian Nealon that was with him. Also, Brian Jika there. There is Jim Ryan on the screen there. Very frustrating night for him, standing next to Bryce Burkhart, number 44. Radigan, left side. Radigan continuing to try to pile up the yardage, but it's been very, very difficult for him tonight. 14 carries, right around 50 yards. His longest run tonight, 8 yards. And again, you're looking at a young man who had 303 yards last week.
Just 1 week ago.
Just 1 week ago, 35 carries against North Olmsted. When they played, these two teams played earlier in the season, Jim Ryan said the kids were embarrassed. They felt they couldn't run the ball. They just felt it was gut check time, and they did play outstanding football from then to this point. But tonight, with so many turnovers, as Stillman comes our way, and he's going deep. Good recovery to make the grab there was Burkhardt with about 3 guys covering him. He broke off his route and went to the ball nicely, didn't he, Matt?
That's simply a case of number 44 wanting the ball more than anybody else on the field because the ball is slightly underthrown. You got to remember he's throwing into a dead wind. The ball kind of dies and Burkhardt splits the defenders, comes back between them, and goes to the football. Nice job by that young man.
And Bristow, along with a couple of others there defensively.
Not only is he throwing into a dead wind, but it's rain as well.
Mattis is 4 of 8, 82 yards so far tonight. And he gives the ball to Tim Radigan. He's got some room. Following his block, a good piece of running by Tim Radigan. Gets the ball over the 50-yard line to about the 43. 6:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's 34-6. Avon Lake on top.
Many of these Justin Mattis, Tim Radigan, Tyler Stillman playing in their last high school football game here tonight, at least last high school football game for their alma mater. Some of these young men might get an opportunity to play in an all-star game this coming summer.
And that's typifying the night for Olmsted Falls. A bit of trickery and the ball down on the carpet, but I think the Bulldogs were able to recover the football. That was not Bryce, that was Tyler Stillman. Come up with a football. His own fumble.
This Olmsted Falls team really loaded with seniors offensively. I believe they only have Andy Post, I know, is a junior, and I think there's just one player on the offensive line who is an underclassman. So this is a very much a senior leadership driven team. And next year it'll be reload for head coach Jim Ryan and company.
Look at Avon Lake as well. Look at their defensive backfield. All but Hilly, along with linebackers in the defensive backfield. All but Hilly are seniors, and on the defensive line, 2 juniors. $5 to go here. And the clock is moving. And Avon Lake is very comfortable right now and moving towards the second round of the playoffs next week against the winner of that Kenston and Revere game. Some outstanding Division II games going on tonight as well. Floats it to the outside to Andy Post and incomplete. Olmsted Falls came into tonight averaging 24.5 points per contest. And obviously a far cry from that this evening. But for all they had ability-wise to move the ball, they just killed themselves with all those turnovers.
I'll tell you what, John, it's going to be, tough for a couple of days for the Olmsted Falls kids to think about this whole option to end their season. But they are one of just 96 schools in the state of Ohio to be in the playoffs. When you consider there are another 600 plus who are sitting at home tonight, not even thinking about the playoffs, that's something that they can build on, something that they'll remember a long time down the road. I'm honest with you, the seniors on those other 600 schools would love to trade places with them right now, even if the score were 50-0. At least they could say, hey, I played in a playoff game in high school.
Andy Post with a carry right there as the clock continues to move. It's now at the 5-minute mark. And plays coming in from the sideline. Tim Bush heading to the sideline. some impromptu ways to stay dry tonight here at Lakewood Stadium. It's 4th down and 5. And Mattis is going to throw. Got time to throw over the middle. Sails on him a bit, but nice grab. But it knocked away at the last moment. Nearly caught there by Timmy Radigan, but just unable to hang on. And so Avon Lake's going to get the opportunity to have the football once again, and I'm sure it will be an opportunity for some of the other kids to get into the game too. Well, for Avon Lake, the first step for them. They were here a year ago. They got into the playoffs, a state semifinalist. And I think this year they're sort of on a mission as a group, as a team. They want to go all the way. They want to take it to the final game this year and hopefully bring home a state championship in Division III. Jeff BREESE, by the way, coming into that carry right there at the 31 mark for the night. 143 yards. He gets a nice piece of real estate right there. About 7 yards. He cuts it back towards this side of the field. Brought down by Tim Bush. Good piece of defense. Outstanding two-way player Bush is as a tight end and also as a defensive back. It's about at the 4-minute mark now. '39 is Rogers. Ben Rogers, a junior, 200 pounds. The clock continues to move. Very disheartening for the Bulldogs of Avon Lake. But they have that taste. They know what it's like to be in the playoff. Bulldogs of Olmsted Falls, I say, correct myself. But Olmsted Falls knows what it's like to be in the playoffs now. And it will give them something to work toward next season and seasons to come. So Olmsted Falls' first year in the big show, if you will, and this is the second straight year for the Avon Lake SHAWN. Whoop, fumble. And it looked like Petties was able to recover the ball as he was swallowed by Jason Frederick and a host of Olmsted Falls defenders. John, a little banged up there, is coming to the sideline, or excuse me, sir.
No, that won't hurt. That won't hurt tomorrow morning. Bulldogs head coach Jim Ryan will start turning his attention to baseball pretty soon, where the Bulldogs baseball team has won the Southwestern Conference crown the last 3 years in a row.
Understand that.
They are loaded again.
Radigan's an outstanding baseball player, I understand. Ball on the turf, but swallowed up by Tyler Stillman. And so Olmsted Falls takes over at 2:28 to go here in the 4th quarter on a night where things simply got away from them. Very difficult for them to take this situation. The ambulance taking away someone. I hope the situation isn't severe from our stadium. And don't forget, at the conclusion tonight, we're going to have those great high school football marching bands. So stay tuned here to Channel 25 for that. It's always a great show. As Timmy Radigan gets the football, and Timmy Radigan goes over the left side for some yardage for Olmsted Falls. He's carried the ball now 2 times, but not up to the mark of a week ago. 16 carries, 67 yards for Tim Radigan. Andy Post has 53 yards so far on the evening. We're under 2 minutes now. I want you to stay tuned to Channel 25 throughout the week to find out exactly what game we will be doing. We're doing either Division II or Division III regional final as continue along the tournament trail. High school football playoff 1995. The pass broken up and intercepted.
Josh Shanker has just had an outstanding game tonight. Not only blocking, but defensively he used to recover the fumble. He's now intercepted a pass.
7 TOs tonight, 7 turnovers on the part of Olmsted Falls, and Shanker blocked 3 passes earlier this season. There's his first pick of the year. Great job for him. Heads up play. Now Avon Lake will run out the clock, I'm sure. Much of that damage, as you can see, that second quarter, and turnovers playing a huge part including that play towards the end of the first half where it looked like there was an interception by Stillman, and then the ball was put down on the turf, and not many people thought most people thought the play was over, except for the man that scored the touchdown, who was Brian Jika coming up with a football and scoring.
Yeah, there's no doubt that really changed. I mean, it kept Avon. It wasn't like it was already ahead in the game, but I think that almost thwarted any hope that Olmsted Falls had of coming back. And if that didn't do it, then the interception in the third quarter that was returned for a touchdown did.
Absolutely.
In fact, this would be a tough game, John. It's a good thing we don't have to hand out a most valuable player award in this game. It would be tough to call. John BRISTOW had 2 interceptions, both returned for touchdowns. Jeff BREESE has been everything he was billed in the pregame hoopla. He was outstanding.
One of the stunning plays was Matt Petty, 4-yard run from scrimmage. That was big. Avon Lake giving the ball to some other folks to give them the opportunity. That's Dave Horton. Number 9 gets the carry with 1:10 to go here in the fourth quarter, in the football game, and obviously in the season for Olmsted Falls.
Yeah, BREESE finishing the night 32 carries, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns. We mentioned a moment ago the great game that Josh Schenker has had.
Great season he's had.
Yeah, definitely a team win for him. Everybody coming through with big plays tonight.
Ball is fumbled. It's on the ground. It's still up for grabs and still being fought over. And they're going to get the ball to Olmsted Falls. So the Bulldogs, it looks like Tim Bush was the man that came away with it. Bulldogs have it. And there's 43 seconds to go here in the football contest. 34-6, Matt. From our intrepid gang, manning the cameras. I think that's Steve Kearns. Steve, great job.
Outstanding job by the crew tonight.
Great job.
Braving the elements.
And company.
And even for those guys back there, the guys with the cushy jobs in the truck, they did a great job tonight.
You know what everybody else is saying. They're saying we're the ones with the cushy jobs. And you know they're correct. It's the turnover picture. 7-3. And there is Tim Radigan. He's just continuing to run as he piles up yardage, getting close to the 100-yard mark. He came into that carry with about 67 yards. And there's 13 seconds as Radigan continues to move through the defense. Keep those legs churning. 13 seconds left. Player down on the field.
Number 54 is down for Avon.
Matt Mackert. He's their fine middle guard, working on the knee right there. He's a 5'8", 230-pounder. He is a senior and a very reliable football player for the Avon Lake team. And as you know, they've got more football left in them. So this is something no one would like to see happen to any young man.
John, I am no proponent of AstroTurf by any means, but could you imagine what this game would have looked like on real turf?
Oh boy, it would have been I know what we would have
And we'd have had a tough time telling one number from another.
Who is that with the ball?
This is the one instance in which AstroTurf is nice to have. Even Jim Ryan saying before the game when we were chatting that said, well, I'm glad we're on AstroTurf tonight.
And the field here at Lakewood is among the finest in the area. Okay, Matt's up with the help of about 3 of his friends. Let's take him off the field. Here's the rushing yardage as Avon Lake, courtesy of Jeff BREESE, who had 149 yards. They pile it up. To do an emergency job on him because I know they'd like to see him play football next week. He's an invaluable member of this football team. A lot of the folks have filed out of here, Matt.
Olmsted Falls won't even run a play here. They'll let the clock run out. Ending their season, but moving on for Avon Lake. Big win for them.
So Olmsted Falls season is over. They finished the year at 7-4. 2 of those losses came against the Avon Lake Shoremen. The Shoremen, the playoff veterans that they are under Coach Dave DeLugas, continue along the trail. They go to the second round as they win impressively 34 here on Channel 25. We saw some outstanding football tonight, but it's very disheartening for Olmsted because a lot of those turnovers really hurt them, didn't they, man?
Well, you know, and it was interesting. It's sort of ironic, John. We talked in the open that Olmsted Falls is a team that fed off of turnovers all season long. They had 28 takeaways this year during the regular season, but tonight it was they who gave the game away, in essence, to Avon Lake. And credit to SHAWN, they took advantage of the opportunities that lay before them, and those that excel in the postseason. Avon Lake will move on a year ago, a state semifinalist. Hopefully this year they can take it all the way. Good luck to them.
All right, Matt, appreciate it very much. Great job behind the microphones tonight. We look forward to doing another game next week. And once again, our final score, 34-6 the final. The final with Olmsted Falls and Avon Lake. Avon Lake a winner, 34-6. And that is going to wrap it up in terms of football tonight. At this time, we'll take you back to the halftime festivities, Lakewood Stadium. And here now is the Olmsted Falls Marching Band.